Well, it's December again, and the days are short, but they're going to get longer, and the sidewalks are slick. And most of us are moving through our routines with a little extra weight on our shoulders and hopefully a little extra hope in our hearts. Christmas is coming. The New Year's right around the corner. And whether you love this season or simply endure it, December has a way of forcing a pause. You look back, you take stock. You ask yourself, what just happened and what comes next? If I had to sum up this past year in one word, it would be pressure. Pressure at the grocery store checkout. Pressure when you open your utility bill. Pressure when you fill the tank of your vehicle. Pressure when you try and plan anything and realize the price tags have changed again. Even the small stuff has felt heavier. A night out that used to be a simple treat now becomes a serious calculation. A kid's sports registration fee makes you wince. A family trip feels like a luxury instead of a normal part of life. The cost of living has not been an abstract headline this year. It's been personal. It has been the quiet stress behind the scenes of a lot of good people. The kind of stress you don't always talk about at a dinner table because you don't want to sound like you're complaining. The kind of stress that shows up is impatience or fatigue and that constant sense that you're running hard just to stay in the same place. And then there's housing, which I'll keep in its place here because this is not meant to be a housing lecture. But we've all felt the ripple effects, whether you rent, own, or are trying to buy or helping your kids get started. Shelter costs touch everyone and everything. And when shelter costs go up, it steals from other parts of life. It steals from savings. It steals from experiences. It steals from generosity. And it steals from the feeling of stability that every Canadian deserves. But this year also felt like politics never took a breath. We had elections. We had constant debate. We had leaders promising simple solutions to complicated problems, and people getting angry when real life didn't cooperate. We had political turmoil, not just in the sense of who holds power, but in the sense of how we talk to each other. It felt louder. It felt sharper. It felt like every issue came with a side to pick and an enemy to blame. And none of that is helped by the way the news reaches us now. I mean, you can be having a perfectly decent day and then 5 minutes later on your phone, you're served a buffet of calamity and outrage and a fresh reason to worry. I mean, some of it's real. Some of it's exaggerated. Some of it's designed to keep you upset because upset people scroll more. And that's not a conspiracy. It's just the business model. The result is that even when things are going well in your life, you can still feel like the world is coming apart. I've had conversations this year with neighbors and lots of colleagues and some friends and strangers that all circle the same themes. People want to do well. They want to work hard. They want to take care of their families. They want to believe there's a payoff for effort. But many are asking a fair question. Are we making progress or are we just spinning our wheels? I don't say any of this to be gloomy. I say it because I think it matters that we name what we all feel. I mean, Canadians are resilient, but resilience does not mean pretending everything's fine. It means acknowledging reality and still choosing to move forward. So what am I hopeful for in 2026? I'm hopeful for relief. Simple as that. Relief that shows up in everyday life. Relief that lets young families breathe a bit. Relief that lets seniors stop choosing between the essentials. Relief that lets people feel they can plan again without fear that one surprise bill will knock them off course. I'm hopeful for steadier leadership and calmer conversation. Not perfect leadership, just steadier. I'm hopeful for a year where we can disagree without turning it into a sport, where we can debate policies without assuming the worst about the people across from us. I'm hopeful that we can lower the temperature because when everything is on fire, nothing gets built. I'm hopeful for common sense to make a comeback. And that's not a slogan, but it's an attitude. The kind of common sense that says we can care about multiple things at once. We can care about affordability, and we can still care about quality. We can care about growth and still care about infrastructure. We can care about helping people and still ask for accountability. We can make room for compassion without losing practicality. I'm hopeful for productivity and pride in work, because Canada is full of talented people. Builders, trades, teachers, nurses, entrepreneurs, farmers, engineers, service workers, and everyone who keeps the wheels turning in this country. But too often we make it harder than it needs to be to get things done. So for 2026, I hope we get serious about cutting needless friction and speeding up decisions and respecting the people doing the work, not with words, but with systems that actually function. I'm hopeful for stronger communities because that's where real life happens. It doesn't happen in Ottawa. It doesn't happen down at City Hall. It doesn't even happen on social media. But in communities, in neighborhoods, in the small daily interactions where trust is either built or broken, when communities are even stronger and everything feels a little more manageable. Because when they're weak, people feel isolated, and isolated people become easy targets for fear and division. Which brings me to the question of how we can be better. Well, it starts with you and me and the people we surround ourselves with. No, that's not meant as a motivational poster line. It's practical. The tone you bring into a room really does matter, and the way you speak about others matters. The standard you accept in your relationship matters. The habits you build in your home matters. And so do mine, and so do all of ours. We can be better by doing a few simple things in a world that keeps trying to pull us towards the worst version of ourselves. We can be better by listening longer than we talk, because most people are not looking for an argument. They're looking to be heard. We can be better by giving each other the benefit of the doubt. And there's a big difference between someone being wrong and someone being bad. We can be better by showing up, volunteering, coaching, and checking in on our neighbors, supporting local businesses, helping a new family on your street feel like they belong. And these aren't grand gestures, but they are the glue that binds us. We can be better by using our voices carefully. We don't need to amplify every rumor or outrage. We can pause before sharing something, before making a comment, before assuming we know the full story. But we can also be better by expecting more from leaders, but also by being realistic about what leadership can do. Governments do matter, but they can't replace personal responsibility, healthy families, and communities that take care of their own. And yes, Canadians need relief, real relief, not just programs that look good in a press release, relief that shows up in lower bills, better services, and a sense that the future is not getting further away. Relief that respects the fact that a country is not a spreadsheet. It's people. It's mornings, it's bedtimes, it's paydays, and it's worries and hopes. It's the quiet grind that never makes the headlines. Now, I don't think we're helpless. I think we're tired. And there's a difference. Tired people can recover. Tired people can reset. And tired people can find their footing again, especially when they're surrounded by good people and grounded values. So as we head into Christmas and the new year, my wish is simple. I hope you get the moments of peace in the middle of the noise. I hope you get time with the people who matter the most. I hope you find a reason to laugh. And I hope you find the time to rest, even if it's just a little. And I hope 2026 brings a turning of the tide, not because the world magically gets easier, but because we decide to be more steady, more kind, more practical, and even more united in the things that really matter. That brings me to the end. So thank you for subscribing. And to all of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care.